What was that song we decided to sing?
Dodi.
At the beginning? Yeah.
Dodi,
Make sure you have it.
I'm ready.
Oh. And actually, well, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Well, I have to say, there's about twice as many people here as I expected, so that's very nice. No, nice to see you all. Nice to see you all. And I said this dinner thing is working, and it's going to get even better once we move into November. I know all of you are real sartorial mavens. Nonetheless, don't be angry that he's wearing shorts because he didn't know he was going to be on the bema tonight. And
Well, I'm disappointed that you didn't notice.
I'm glad we're gonna start with a song that I don't usually do.
Yeah.
Drew picked it out on page
19.
Page 19.
Whoa. Hey, Jeff, these seem a little hot. Can you bring this down just a little bit? I think that's better. There we go. So page 19, Dodi Lee. And we don't do this very often, and it's really pretty. So join me if you know it. Dodi Lee va'ani lo haroe bashoshanim. Dodi Lee va'ani lo haroe bashoshanim. Dodi Lee va'ani lo haroe bashoshanim.
Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Why? Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, la 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 la. Let's see if I can do this. It just came to mind. Eveinu Shalom Aleichem, Eveinu Shalom Aleichem, Eveinu Shalom Aleichem, Eveinu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem, Eveinu Shalom Aleichem, Eveinu Shalom Aleichem, Eveinu Shalom Aleichem. Eveinu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem. Yidid Nefesh, page number 7. And the transliteration is a page or two over. First verse only. Yedid nefesh ha-parachaman, Yedid nefesh ha-parachaman, Meshochahavdecha, Eretz Zonecha, Meshochahavdecha, Yalalala, Eretz Zonecha, Yarutz Avdecha, Kemo haya, Yishtachaver alalai, Yalalala, Emul hadarecha, Yarutz Avdecha, Kemo haya, Yishtachaver alalai, Yalalala, Emul hadarecha. Which brings us up to the Chadodi. Now let's do Shalom Aleichem, page 13. Do that together. Is it? Go ahead, start us.
Okay. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Moachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Chadodi, page 41. Yep, first, third, fifth, and last. Excuse me. Lechadodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela, Lechadodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela, Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litila, Lechadodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela, Lechadodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. In the middle of 43, Mikdash melech ir melucha, Kumitzei metochafecha, Ramlach shevet v'yem havacha, V'hu yachamol alayichem la, Lechadodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela, Lechadodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Top of 45. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva orech kumi ori, 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 shudaveri, keor Adonai alayich nigla, lechadodi Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Middle of 47, and or did I skip one? No, I didn't, okay. Bori v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'sochola, toch emune am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela.
And for future reference, as soon as you're done bowing, you can feel free to be seated. And we did forget the candle lighting. Nobody reminded me, so there we go. Please come forward, if you would. We'll backtrack a couple pieces in the service.
Page 5. Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Page 55. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad yivarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'mechon u'v'chayedecha beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman, Kari, Vimeru.
Amen.
Yehi Shemei Rabban Bevorach, Leolam Ulol Me'ol Maya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, Ve'yishtabach, Yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, Ve'yithadar, Ve'yitalev, V'yitalach, Shmei de Kudisha,
Brichu,
Liela min kabirchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'yalema v'yimeru.
Amen.
Jeff, you are needed. As we turn to page 57, we're going to do that. His name is Aaron. What's the composer's first name? It's something Aronson. You don't know?
Aronson, the rabbi from Minneapolis?
No, he's not a rabbi. He's a composer, a singer-songwriter from Brooklyn. Please rise.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla la la la, 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 yalla la la la. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai.
Thank you. Please be seated. Page 58. Blessed are you, eternal our God, sovereign of all worlds, by whose word evening falls. In wisdom you open heaven's gates. With divine discernment you make the seasons change, causing the times to come and go, and ordering the stars on their appointed paths through heaven's dome, all according to your will. You are creator of day and night, who rolls back light before the dark and dark before the light, who makes day pass away and brings on the night, dividing day from night. The leader of the throngs of heaven is your name. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Living and enduring God, rule over us now and always. Blessed are you, eternal, who makes the evening fall. Uma'avir yom u'mevi laila. Umavdil bein yom u'vein laila. Adonai Tsevaot Shemo. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai hama'ari v'ravim.
Amen.
Page 62. With everlasting love you love the house of Israel. Torah and mitzvot, laws and justice you have taught us. And so, eternal our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will reflect on your laws and take pleasure in your Torah's words and your mitzvot, now and always. Truly they are our life and our length of days. On them we will meditate by day and night. Your love will never depart from us as long as the world endures. Blessed are you, eternal, who loves your people Israel. Lost the place here. Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu v'hem nehege yomam v'layla v'yahavtecha tasur mimenu li'olamim Baruch ata Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Page 65, please rise. Going to services several times over Yontif either helps your knees or hurts them, depending on where you are in life. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod, Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shachbecha u'v'kumecha u'keshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chetavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'hisharecha. Page 79, Mi Chamocha.
Probably there a sec. Hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la, hi la la la, hi la Ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osef eleh, nora tehilot,
תחרו בניך, בוקר ים לפני משה, זה אלינו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גואל ישראל. Hashkivenu, page 81, transliteration is on the top of page 83. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. I gotta get started. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. V'shamaru, page 85.
My goodness, I'm all sung out today. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. B'nei Uven, B'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. Veshamru B'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et haaretz. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam.
Amidah, page 91. Take it away, Drew.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha.
Please rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'hanora El Elyon Gomer chasadim tovim v'konei hakol v'zocher chastei avot v'imahot u'mevi ge'ula livnei b'neihem lema'an shemo b'yahava zochreinu lechaim melech hafetz b'chaim וכותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, רב להושיע, מוריד אתה. מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי כל חי ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדום מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך אב הרחמים, זוכר יצרוב לחיים ברחמים. ונאמן אתה להחיות כל חי, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה כל חי. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Please be seated. Page 101. מודים אנחנו לך שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו לעולם ועד. צור חיינו מגן ישנו אתה הוא לדור ודור. And so we pause. It's in my DNA at this point. You know how actions can be conveyed into DNA. Pause and inquire of this crowd what we have to be thankful for at this time. Something that happened in the last day, the last week, a revelation you've had.
Here, here.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, good choir, great attendance. Really wonderful attendance. Yeah, well, that's nice. Good. Yeah.
Hopefully there will be members in a few weeks.
Anybody else?
I'm very grateful for Beth Hyatt.
Oh, thank you. Good.
Thank you.
Good.
I'm grateful my children are safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the love, the sense of community, and the friendship that I feel, and the warmth of this community.
Good. Yeah, I agree.
I'm grateful
I
for
agree.
the Iron Dome.
Oh yeah. 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 It wasn't 100% this time. It was sort of, it was
Pretty good.
it was kept out of the news for a while, but apparently a couple of missiles hit a couple bases and did some damage. But one death in Jenin, I think. Yeah, we're well grateful for that, and we're all sort of set to see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Anybody else?
I only hope and pray that they don't observe an anniversary of the Yom Kippur War.
I didn't get what you said. Say that again.
I only hope and pray that they don't observe an anniversary of the Yom Kippur War, which they believe they won.
I guess I'm not following you.
They don't attack again in.
Yom Kippur.
on-
Oh, you think Egypt and Syria and?
Syria might.
I don't think so. No, I don't think we have to worry about that. I don't think Egypt's going to go to war, and I don't think Syria's going to go to
Not
war.
Egypt, not Syria.
Not Jordan.
The whole terrorist group paid by Iran.
Well, they're already. I don't quite get what you're saying because they're already doing that. So,
But they would love to surprise Israel any time they could.
right. Well,
Yeah.
that's. Anybody else? Yeah.
Yeah. I have one other very minor one, but I was thinking this today that I wish we had this when I was a kid. But I'm grateful for whipped cream cheese.
It's easier to spread.
I was going to say there's no wine
I mean, as I was spreading today at lunchtime, I was thinking, this is so much nicer than when I was a kid.
Page 107, last paragraph. Excuse me. Ose shalom bimromav uyase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav uyase shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Pause to say Misha Berach. Please feel free. Anybody you want to name, whose name you want to mention, care to mention?
Laurie and Maxwell.
Ronnie Harris, yeah.
Kathy Warren, Karen Levy, Marcia Grutman, Mary Grutman.
Margaret Dunn.
Number 15 on the sheet. You want to get us started?
Yeah, I need a sheet though.
Okay.
I need it something a million times, but I know I won't
No,
see it right
got to have it in front of you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story.
Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us to find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
So, next Shabbat is also Yom Kippur. So, and right after Yom Kippur, of course, is right after Yom Kippur comes Sukkot. Thank you. Just a couple of days later. So the minhag here. I'm going to talk for a few minutes. You can stand if you like. Stand if you like, or we can do it contrapuntally if you like. So I thought we'd spend a couple minutes drashing on the idea of a sukkah, right? Sukkah, which the minhag here is to build it between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So we're doing it this Sunday morning, and I understand it's a really nice structure, pretty simple to put together. So I'll be here. Betsy will be here for the donuts and coffee. I'll probably just stand back and supervise. That's what I do real good. So what is a sukkah? Somebody. I mean, what is a sukkah? Temporary sanctuary. What are some of its distinguishing characteristics? What makes it different? Yeah. No roof. Right. That's probably the most important part. And why don't you have a roof? So you can see the stars. And you pray for rain. But of course not while you're in the sukkah. Maybe when you get out of the sukkah and go into the house. What's that?
Is it temporary?
Well, it's temporary. You put it up, you take it down every year. And well, a minimum of 3 sides. Minimum of 3 sides, and it often has a wide open door. And what do you call that stuff you put on the roof? Schach. Schach. It can be palm fronds, it can be bamboo, it can be anything, but the generic term for it is schach, which if you say it 10 times, your throat won't be phlegmy like mine is at the moment. Schach. I believe someone told me half seriously that newscasters in Israel were advised to say that word prior to broadcasting, so it can clear their voice. All right, so it's got an open roof. Yeah. Minimum of 3 sides. It's got a minimum of 3 sides. Minimum of 3. Halachically, it's got to have a minimum of 3 sides. Can you put a sukkah on the back of a donkey or a camel? Yeah, you can. It's in the Mishnah. What? Triple A. It's in the Mishnah. I don't know why you'd want to do it, but you could. But let's dig a little deeper. Let's dig a little deeper into it. Like, why do we do it? I mean, I know the holiday is called Sukkot. Like that's more than one sukkah, but that's not the right answer.
To be closer to God.
How's that? Okay, so that's a nice drash. How so? How are you closer to God?
Being under the stars and having this open structure.
Okay, very good. I like that. You're closer to God, and you're closer to God in good ways and in bad ways. Let's say the weather during Sukkot was like it was yesterday, and you go and sit in the sukkah. You know, you can't turn the AC on, right? Or let's say the weather was like, God forbid, like Florida and Asheville during Helene. Well, you wouldn't be in your sukkah, but say it's raining real hard. Nishkafelig, right? You're in the sukkah. You're open to the elements, the cold and the heat and precipitation. You have a sukkah in northern Alaska and it snows, right? You can't build a sukkah with real walls. Now, closer to God, but what else?
Makes you realize that you need God's protection.
All right, thank you. It makes you realize you need God's protection. You like to have God's protection. Anything else?
Use a lot of natural things.
Yeah.
Bring vegetables of the season there and
Yeah.
leaves to cover it.
So it's a nice it's a nice entree into talking about environmentalism. That's right. Most everything is natural in the sukkah. I like that.
Isn't it the celebration of the harvest also?
It's a harvest festival. That's right. That's right. So that's partly where the schach comes from, right? In other times you have corn stalks. I mean, I've actually seen corn stalks. That's right. It's a harvest festival. So it's one of the 3 pilgrimage festivals. When the temple stood, Jews would come from all around to be in Jerusalem.
You're supposed to eat in it.
You're supposed to eat in a sukkah.
Sleep in it.
Sleep in it? Well,
Yes.
yeah. I have never slept in a sukkah. Betsy has at least once. I've never slept in a sukkah. Let's just see who walked in the door. Oh, okay. All right. He's allowed. No. Anyway. And by the way, there's something I always do in a sukkah. It's not my own invention. There's a nice Aramaic word, ushpizin, which means guests. You're supposed to invite guests in. I don't mean, and that's at 2 levels: living, breathing, flesh and blood people, and it's a great opportunity for hospitality. But also, you invite in people who are no longer with us. There is a whole ritual that you could follow if you like, as to inviting Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel and Leah. But I also ask people to think about whom they would like to invite, who's no longer with us. Would like to. So I invite you to think about that, so that when you're in the sukkah, we're going to have a nice potluck dinner, Shabbat Sukkot, and we'll be under the sukkah. And depending on how rambunctious the crowd is, I may ask that question. Now, one of the things I always point out about the sukkah, coming on the heels of Yom Kippur, so let me stop and ask you at least to think about for a moment the mood of Yom Kippur. mean, we call it the holiest day of the year, the Sabbath of the Shabbat of all Shabbatot. So what's the kind of theological tone, the mood of Yom Kippur? Somber, reflective. You're trying to seek atonement, which is, I don't remember when I mentioned it, but I always point this. I mentioned it last Saturday night at Slichot. Atonement is an easy way to get a sense of the meaning of atonement, because it's it's an intentional conflation of three words, right? At, one, meant. I point this out at least 2 or 3 times every. So there's a sense of being at one with oneself, at one with one's community, at one with God. So there's a kind of a solitary nature to it. It's all of those things you said. It's somber. You're trying to achieve a sense of atonement, trying to complete your process of tshuva, of returning to God. And then that's over, and you go out the door right after Ne'ilah, and you go into the traffic, and a few days later, what's the theological mood of Sukkot? Simcha. Again? Celebratory. Festive. Samachta b'chagecha is one of the commands about Sukkot. It's also about the other pilgrimage festivals. You shall be happy during your holiday. Samachta b'chagecha. What else? I mean, all of those things are true, and it's a really delightful, it's a delicious contrast between Yom Kippur and Sukkot. But can you dig a little deeper and see anything else theological in it? Yeah.
When you finish praying on Yom Kippur, the first thing you're supposed to do is put the first nail in the sukkah.
Right.
So think of if you move to a new home, what do? You put up the mezuzah. Unless a Jew owned that house before you moved in, then you can keep it. Otherwise, put up a mezuzah. So I had a neighbor who was a black minister, came back from Israel. He put Hebrew posters all over the church. They told him he was too Jewish, they fired him. I said, I understand better than most. Okay? So he had a mezuzah on his rental house across the street from my synagogue. He invited 250 people and the choir to his place. They were lined up on the street, and he gave them all a theological paper on the Jewish meaning of the mezuzah.
Uh-huh. Well, that's nice. That's nice. Returning to the Sukkah and Sukkot. So the tone of all the tones that you correctly identified about Yom Kippur indicate a transcendent God, right? A God whom we have to reach to, and who, in some sense, reaches to us, but in a way doesn't quite reach us, because that's the sense of the notion of transcendence. The God of Sukkot, the same God, I'm not saying a different God, but the theological tone of Sukkot is a God that's immanent, I-M-M-A-N-E-N-T, immanent, among us. Not in everything, that's pantheism, but a God that is among us. And so this wonderful contrast, right? From Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur, the sobriety of Yom Kippur to the festive nature of Sukkot, and the God that's around us. And that so in addition to being subject to the elements, you're open to God in a way that, in a different kind of way that you're not during Yom Kippur. Oh yeah, how can I not talk about lulav and etrog?
Yeah.
So what's a lulav? Who can tell me what a lulav is?
Fresno's only export to Israel. I'm serious.
I didn't hear you.
Fresno is the capital of growing etrogim
Uh-huh.
in the United States.
Yeah. Okay. But what's a lulav? All right, I know it's a thing. What is a lulav? Palm consists of three things. What? Willow. Your Aunt Myrtle, and it's held together. I've only ever seen it held together by this clever sort of bambooish kind of thing, And you wave it, and you wave it in 6 directions, right? Up, down, one shoulder, the other shoulder, to the left and to the right, forward, side, together. And what does that indicate? I mean, that goes along with the immanence of God that I mentioned before. You're identifying the presence of God in 6 different directions. So you've all seen an etrog, right? You ever bought an etrog? Anybody here ever bought an etrog? How much does an etrog cost?
$39 for the set.
So yeah, so the etrog, you know, the smallest, cheapest etrog, $12 anyway. Now in California, that's probably $24, but you get it from someplace else.
Is it called, like, if you, is that, it's a citron?
It's a citron, yeah.
I didn't know if it was called something like.
Yeah, well, that's the French word for it, right? And hence a car called the citron. So I'll tell you a story, and then we'll get on with the service. So when I was in rabbinical school, we had this wonderful Hebrew teacher named Avram Alkai, who was a Hungarian refugee. He survived the Holocaust and stayed in Hungary, but left after the revolution, the Hungarian Revolution in 1956. And he came to Israel, and he was a cantor, a very good cantor, this very deep, basso profundo voice. And he not only sang in that voice, but he talked in that voice. He would say, Shalom. And this is not the main story I'm telling you, and this may not rest so well on your shoulders, but all during the year, he never spoke English to us. And we figured because he was Hungarian, he didn't speak English until we had these massive, massive final exams, and he proctored one, and he cheated for us a little bit. That may not sit on your shoulders, so I didn't take that great advantage of his service. But you go up and ask him a question, what does this mean? And suddenly he knew English. He could tell us he knew what that English word was. But all during the year, he only spoke Hebrew. So he came in before Sukkot with an etrog, and he's going to Ani milamedot lechem et hilchot etrog. I'm going to teach you the laws of Sukkah. So he takes out a knife, and he says, first of all, you got to look at it and make sure there are no bumps or any kind of impurity on it. And then he proceeds to cut off one end, the stem. Cut off. He said, pasul, which means it's not kosher. And then he cut off the other end. Go pasul, and he cut off some of the peel. He say pasul. He's trying to show us all the ways in which an etrog was pasul. But at the end of his little demonstration, he said, "Be'emet ein zo etrog ze limon." He said, "This is not an etrog; it's a lemon." He went on to say, "I'm not going to spend $12 on an etrog that I'm going to desecrate like that."
It makes a wonderful jam.
And that makes a wonderful jam. He's passed on. He was the cantor at the rabbinical school, so I would hear him perform pretty frequently. He was a very nice guy, and obviously that's a story from 1978, and I still remember it. I think it happened in 1978. Any other things about it? So Baruch Hashem, because of Hebrew school is newly opened, and the Sukkah is a really nice thing. We keep Sukkot alive. But just barely, right? In fact, I will say one other thing. In my experience as this traveling rabbi, and when I wasn't a traveling rabbi, I noticed that every synagogue would buy a lulav and etrog. Everybody had a favorite lulav and etrog store in Brooklyn, or did you buy what East Coast? Or do you buy it from here? Buy it from Amazon. All right, well, yeah, Amazon, and they would order one set. They order one set, one lulav and etrog, and we'd wave it during services, and we'd wave it during religious school. I'd put it outside under the sukkah, and it would never get used. And out of that, I derived a halakha of Reform Judaism, which is, thou shalt use thy lulav and etrog only once. But it's supposed to be there for you to come in and use whenever you want. And feel free to do that. We're getting 2 sets this year, one for us old folks, and one for the religious school. Yeah.
As a fellow oldster, Lowell Bellin was a doctor and the first observant Jewish health commissioner for New York City. Because he was shomer, he didn't work on the first day of Sukkot or the last day of Sukkot. Another Jewish doctor calls his office and says, "Is Dr. Bellin in?" And she, matter of fact, says, "I'm sorry, this is Sukkot."
No, no. In fact, I don't get it.
No, Sukkot is not named after a girl or a boy named Sue.
Aleinu l'shabeach. Kathy, could you open the ark for us, please? Page 121. As the ark is opened, will the congregation please rise? Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula li'otzeh bereshit, shenatan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu, va'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu Noteh Shamayim V'Yosed Haaretz, U'moshav Yikaro B'Shamayim Nima'al, U'Shechinatu Zo, B'Gov Hei Meromim, Hu Eloheinu Ein Od, Emet Malkeinu Efes Ulato, Kakatu b'torato, v'yodata hayom, v'hashevota elevavecha. Hi Adonai hu ha'Elohim, b'shamayim mima'al, v'al ha'aretz, mitachat ein od v'nemar, v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yehyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. Please close the ark. Please be seated, page 129. Let's make that 131. As we bring to mind members of our community who are observing, whose Yortzeiten are this week. Howard Blankfeld, father of Deborah Blankfeld, Ellen Wexler, mother of Mark Wexler, Michael Totenkopf, brother of Tanya Lombardi, Ken Tronstad, father of K.T. Waxman, Ellen Feldstein, wife of Bert Feldstein, Annette Ehrlich, mother of Tony Ehrlich, Harriet Lieber, mother of Brad Lieber. Zichronam livracha, please rise as we recite the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad yivarach yirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayedecho beit Yisrael, v'agala v'yizman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach, v'olam ul almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpo'ar, v'yitbromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yithaleh, v'yithalal, shemei l'kudusha b'richu, le'elam imko birchata, v'shirata, tushbechata, v'nechemata, da'amiran v'yalama v'yimru, Amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'maromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu v'yakol Yisrael, v'yakol Yoshvei Tevel, v'yimru, Amen. Please be seated. We sent out an announcement today, and it's going to go out again on Sunday morning about this service on the 6th at Temple Isaiah at 6:30. If you're interested in going, and I hope you are, you need to pre-register. In the announcement that you got today, there's a link. There's also the same link in the happenings. And if you're interested even in streaming it, you still have to pre-register, because only people who are registered will get the link for the streaming service. Should be a very powerful moment. It's a community-wide event. at least they're expecting over 500 people, so it would be very, very nice to feel part of a larger community as we observe the first anniversary of October the 7th of last year. Next week is Yom Kippur. Anybody not know that? Okay, next Friday night. And we got a pretty nice setup for Kol Nidre. Our chazan for the evening, in between Jackie. What's Jackie's last name? Yeah, she's going to play cello. It'll be a very nice opening.
And oh my God, it sounds gorgeous. We heard a little tiny bit of it. It's going to be spectacular.
Yeah. Do you guys know Yigdal? You ever done Yigdal in this place? 30 years you've existed and never did Yigdal? Yigdal Elohim Chai. You know it? If you don't know it, won't sing it. We got to teach it to you though, because it's. You know it? Yigdal. We're on page 135, transliteration at the bottom. Yigdal Elohim Chai v'yishtabach nimsa v'yenet el metziuto echad v'yen yachid keyichudo ne'elam v'gam ein sof le'achduto ein lo demut haguf v'yeino guf lo na'aroch elav kedushato Kadmon lechol balvar asher nivra Rishon v'yein reshit kereshito Hino Adon Olam v'chol notzar Yoreh gedulato u'malchuto Shefa nevuato netano el Anshe tzuvato v'tifarto Lo kam b'Yisrael kemo she'od Navi u'mabit et emunato Torat emet natan li'amoel Al yad nevito libnan beito Lo yachal Yifa'el v'lo yamir dato Le'olamim lezulato Sofeh v'yodeya setarenu Mabit l'sof davar lekadmato Gomer li'ish chesed kemifalo Yitain l'rasha ra karishato Yishlach l'keitz yamin geulato Lifdot mechake keitz yeshuato Chayim mechalkel v'chayim mechalkel El roch hasto Baruch hadeyad Shem tehilato Chayim mechalkel El roch hasto Baruch hadeyad Shem tehilato. All right, and
Yeah, well, it's a
please rise, find a friend, a neighbor, somebody. Yevarech Adonai v'yishmarecha. Ya'er Adonai panav lecha v'chu. No, sorry. Ya'er Adonai panav lecha v'chuneka. Yisa Adonai panav lecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless us all and care for us. May God's light shine down upon us, especially at this season, with kindness and grace and knowledge and spirituality, strengthening our Jewishness. May God go with us to the Kiddush, the Oneg, and out into the world, preparing for Yom Kippur next week. Help us bring a world of peace. Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.